Hello, this is Eric at RC Monster Garage, and what we got here, it's a project that I need to do for a customer. This is not my Batmobile. This is actually a customer just walked in a couple days ago and brought this beautiful old Batmobile. It seems to be that someone used the heck out of it. This is the original. It's probably from the late 80s, kind of 90s, 80s. It's really cool, and it's old-fashioned. When you open it up, it's very dirty. I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning on it. This how it's look right now. It's have an old high-tech steering servo. It's have like those broken lights. It's have a receiver with a Batman on it. It's pretty cool. Old battery. They have those old ceramic speed controller and the very cool old differential. This is really cool. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to clean this thing up, so it's going to be really cool. I'm going to update everything. I'm going to put electric digital ESC on it, a new servo, new receiver, new battery. Possibly we're going to need to put on this thing a new motor, but we'll see. I'd rather use the original motor on it. This one is a regular 500. Actually, it's not even a 550, it's a 500. I'm gonna show what I'm doing. I'm gonna put a video. I'm gonna short it out for you guys because this is gonna be about like couple hours videos. I want to show you guys the inside of the wheels. They're really cool. This is the front and this is the rear with the Batman logo in it, and those are foam high-speed tires, and this vehicle is made out of aluminum. This is not made out of plastic. This is made out of aluminum, and I'm almost positive that those vehicle was made in America. So stay tuned because I'm gonna show this entire kind of build and upgrade of this Batmobile. Put it a little bit crooked. Stay tuned. Eric at RC Monster Garage. Like and subscribe. So we are back to our Batmobile restoration. So the body still needs some cleaning, but I did clean the frame. I took all the dust out of it, and now we need to start removal of all the items that should not be here right now. So there is a lot of wires. There is the older ESC over here. There's a bunch of lights. We're gonna have to cut all those out. Some of the tools over here. Okay, so let's go over also what we are removing. Let's start with this, with the batteries over here. There is a bunch of double A batteries that were running the front, the older style ESC. I'm gonna need to get rid of those. I'm gonna get a cutter to cut this real quick. Okay, I zoom in a little bit for you guys. Let's start with cutting all those zip ties. Okay, we're going to keep those lights aside, and we have another zip tie here that holding those lights. We can just cut it gently. Someone at some point put this weird switch over here. I'm gonna remove it. I don't even know what this thing is, why the bolt is so long. I guess they didn't have the right bolt for it, so they put something very big with a spacer. Okay. Battery and switch are off, and those are going back. Someone can probably use them for something, so those going back to the customers. Okay, now it's a big spaghetti going on here. We have the receiver. Let's disconnect everything from the receiver. And again, this receiver is really cool with a Batman on it, but it's useless. So we're gonna get rid of it. We have the battery going sideways over here. And then let's see what else we have to remove. We have to remove those old ceramic ESC. It's a very cool system, but nobody uses stuff like this anymore. We're just gonna cut the clip out that's holding everything together. Those two wires for the motor, when we're gonna solder the new ESC, we have to open this. This is really going to be difficult to do because it's closed from the bottom up. Let's see if this is gonna even grab it. Yeah, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna have to trick it out to do that. Meanwhile, I can remove other stuff. As we see here, we have all those lights that I'm gonna try to make them work again, so I don't want to remove them. We're just gonna move all the wires around it out of the way. And all those lights seems to be that they're all hooking up to the ESC. They're also getting light from the ESC. So this is something that I'm gonna have to figure out how to set so they can use it later. It looks like that is getting ground from here, so I'm gonna put just another battery for those lights. Meanwhile, I can actually remove this connector. So to do restoration like this will take about 2 to 3 hours. Even though it's going to look faster on the video, it's not, because a lot of stuff need to get straightened that I'm not going to do in front of the camera. We're going to run it to the video a little bit. And I'm going to straighten a couple of the items, like the tail here that's broken. I'm going to fix it. There is a couple signature on the frame. I don't know what are they for. I don't think it's for anything from the movie, but someone did sign this frame. I wonder if it's the people that made those cars. And if you do have one of those sitting at home somewhere, you should restore them, not throw them away. I'm gonna cut the wires over here because we're gonna reuse them later. So far it's a big spaghetti salad over here. Now let's see how to remove this ESC and steering servo. I'm gonna go look for another small tool for that. So I just discovered something interesting, that some of those electronics, even though it's have like a nut over here, it's actually rivets from the bottom. It cannot get removed. So I'm just gonna leave it there. It's really not gonna disturb anything. And I can just disconnect the plugs from everywhere. And it will have some old-fashioned wiring here. That's really not disturb anybody. I'm just gonna cut them nicely. And the vehicle will look actually a little bit cool with two different type of technology, newer one and older one on it. So just let's cut everything. And those, let's see if we can actually lose those wires so we don't lose them. Yeah, the wire here getting loose easily. Okay. Just one more wire out. And there is another wire here with a fuse that used to go to the ESC. I'm going to remove this completely. I'm going to cut it off. We don't really need it over there. Now we do have here a lot of zip ties. I don't know why they use so many zip ties on this thing. And let's open this and remove the old battery. This battery is so old. It's a 1400 milliamp battery. Ooh-wee. Literally embed itself in. Now I do see that this is bent. I'm gonna try to straighten it out for the customer. Whoosh, I need a stronger plier. It's bent really bad. Yeah, we're gonna need a stronger plier to bend it backward. Okay. Okay, so we'll clean up a little bit over here. All this kind of old style junk that was on the car. And now we have to remove the servo. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge. Since again, they use those special rivets that's really hard to open. It's one side nut, the other side is kind of a rivet, but they keep turning on themselves. Let me open it up and I'm gonna come back. I don't want to waste your time looking at me open those screws. Okay, so I put this thing kind of out of its misery and open all the screws. And this is the old style servo with those very old style connectors. Kind of very hard to find even anything to fit for this anymore. Now we're going to put instead of it a brand new servo. Actually going to use on this like an Arma servo because I know it's going to be reliable and I don't have to worry about it too much. Only thing I need to check that it will fit the same hole. They look very close in the size, but this is one tooth smaller, believe it or not. But we're gonna make it work. It's not a big deal. Now, before you can put your servo in, there is a shock absorber that you need to build on top of the servo. It's all those tiny pieces that you get that nobody ever pay attention to. So those go in this way. You put it on the servo. Okay, and after you put those connectors, they have those copper little cups, and it depends how you like to put it. You can put it from the bottom or you can put it from the top. It's work both way. So now it's going from the bottom, and then when you close the nut on it, you just hold it firmly in place, but it's still taking all the shocks that the rod give to the servo and help to keep it a little bit longer time on your car. There's an old saying in the RC that the last one is always the one that don't want to fit. So we're gonna make it fit. Okay, they're all in. Now what we're gonna do, make sure all those screws are pushed in. We're gonna run the servo wire to the new receiver. And it's exactly going to be the same size, and we're just going to set those in. Let's see, is it the same length? Use the same length. Now is kind of the hard part. Now you need to close it back. So I'm gonna need to use a needle nose plier and a very small and sharp screwdriver for that, and just close them all back in. Hopefully. So what I did right now, just put it by hand, and I'm gonna close it with the tool later. I just want it, all of them, to sit in the same spot that they came from. Now if you're new to the RC, this is a very basic of how to put the servo in. So this is probably important for you to look at. But if you're not, you know, this is how we used to do that in the old days. We used to build everything by hand. There was no ready to run vehicles. You have to build everything. So now I can actually restore anything because I know how to do it. And last one, of course, the hardest one. Murphy Law, never mistake about those things. Okay, so the new servo is installed, and then we're going to set up this. But now I have to tighten everything so it's going to stay in place. So I'm going to use this tool. It just, what it does is holding the nut, and I'm just going to secure it into place. Now for the last bottom one, I already brought a needle nose plier. It will be much easier to just grab it and close it tight after it's sitting in place. Yeah, 2 seconds. Okay, now we really need to put this thing back on. So whenever you put on a new servo, you want your remote to be turned on, so this will keep your system squared out. So what I'm gonna do, this is the new system that I'm gonna use. This is my ESC, and I have here the remote. I'm gonna plug it in. I'm gonna plug the battery, not the old one, the new one, in. Turn on my new remote. And now I know that the servo is working and it's on the 0 position, and I'm gonna try to secure it in place. Let's see if this is gonna fit or not at a 0 point, so it's gonna be straight. This is not gonna fit, but it's not a problem since I have another wheel that came from the factory that I'm just gonna drill, and it's gonna fit right there. So let's do that real quick. I just need to check the size of the hole, and they're gonna fit on the height. It's gonna be the same height, just without the servo saver that you don't really need on the stronger servo. I'm just gonna go drill it and come back. Okay, I made a new steering servo link, and all we need to do is actually make sure that those holes will fit. Yeah, it's fit perfectly. And make sure that the wheels are straight. And now the Batmobile has steering again, and it can get trimmed from the remote, not from those. What they used to do with those pieces of metal, they used to bend them and straight them in order to create trimming. They did not have the trim for the remote. It's kind of funny. Okay, and it's trimmed exactly where I want it. So my steering is done. I'm gonna need to put a screw in it to secure it into place. This is a must. You cannot skip this part. Okay, now we have here the receiver and we have our ESC. Now we're gonna have to solder those wires into the ESC. You can do that with or without the connector. It's not really matter. I'm gonna do it real quick, and I'm gonna set it up. Now we have another extra wire here that comes from the old servo. I will just fold it and shove it in there because it's a really cool servo. Maybe one day someone will decide that they want to try to do something with those, so I wanted to have the cable. I'm just gonna hide it underneath here. Okay, it's right there. Now it's kind of more clean looking. I actually really like that this stayed here. It's actually make the car look a little bit cooler. Now let's see, we need 2 plugs. Let's see if we have the plugs for this. If not, we're just gonna solder it, so it'll be much easier. Okay, I got some plugs. It will fit right there. It will be perfect. It will be much easier to do those crashed plugs versus anything else. Whenever you do those plugs, make sure that you turn the wires so they're not gonna loose, and you have to put the shrink around it. It's preventing from shorting later. It's this clear piece I'm putting right now, and I'm gonna show you in a second what it's doing. And what you do, you're gonna take this and run it through. You're gonna go all the way, and then you just make sure it's in. And you just crash it in. Just crashing first one side. I know it's probably hard to see on the camera. And then you're gonna crash the other side on top of it. And now you have the connector ready. And then what you're gonna do, you're gonna bring this piece back on top of it just to seal it. And now it cannot short when it's touch one another. I'm gonna do another one real quick. Put it in, make sure it's in place. Crash one, crash another. Yep, did not go good. That's it. Make sure that they're strong so they're never gonna come out. And then we're gonna plug them, of course, black to black, red to red. And now the biggest test is the motor gonna run. Forward, brake, and reverse. Okay, so all left to do right now is set up everything on the car. So let's see what we want to go where. So let's start with the ESC first. If you take the body and you put it on top, you need to see what is the highest part, and this is going to be the highest part over here. And this is where I want to put actually my ESC, and the ESC battery are going to come down, so it will be pretty easy. So I'm going to put the ESC right there. Those usually going to do with double stick tape. Just make sure that the area is clean before you do anything. And if you want that double stick tape to work and kind of last forever, you have to put a little bit heat on it. You can do it with the heat gun for a second, and it's just gonna stay. So let's put it right here, and then it's nicely standing near the old-fashioned one, and the battery can get connected here easily. Now we have our receiver, the 2.4 receiver, and we have here the wiring that gonna go for the car. And those one I can actually mount here on the side, no problem at all. And then when you close the car on top of it, it's not going to disturb anything. So we're going to take another piece of foam, double-sided foam. Put it underneath, make sure this is clean. actually I decided to push it a little bit more. No, here it's gonna be good. AJ, it's gonna be just fine. Now just to make sure before I lock everything to place, make sure that the body will fit on top of everything without touching, without rubbing or breaking anything. Let's see. I got a little bit of a mess here. I'm gonna fix it real quick. And the body is sitting in place. Everything is looking good. So the Batmobile is almost there. Now the only thing that's left to do is to clean all the wires and clean this body, and I'm gonna try to 3D print the customer some plastic parts to make it look a little bit more decent. Okay, so let's go to the fun parts, making all the wires kind of a little bit disappear. I'm gonna get some zip ties right here. Actually, we need even smaller ones with colors. Let's zoom out a little bit, it will be easier to see everything. Okay, so let's start from over here. We got here our servo wire that is a little bit too long and I want it to disappear a bit. So I'm gonna make a loop right there. And I'm gonna put the zip tie on it. And I'm gonna double the zip tie twice around, and then it's gonna hold more surface for me. Okay, this will be good. This is one, and then we have here all the motor wires, and what I'm gonna do with those, just kind of gonna try to see like what direction they like to turn, and turn them back again. And I'm gonna set up another zip ties on those. Those are red and black. I got red and black zip ties. Okay, that almost fell. Okay, now we still have those lights that are very loose. I'm gonna need to figure out what to do with those. And we have here on the back old zip tie that was already there, and I'm just gonna use it to run the last wire. It's running right through it. Let's see. No, it's not working so good. That's it. It's running through. Okay, so now it's look a little bit more clean and neat. Let's cut these extra wires, actually the extra ties that we have. And what we want to do, we want to install our new 7.2 volt battery in it. That's it. You have to kind of push it into place. Okay, this is closed. Make sure those things are closed too. Okay, so we have the new battery already in. All we need to do is plug it, check that everything is still working. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, pulling pretty good. And we can shut it off and disconnect it for now. And this was the part one actually of how to clean it up and how to set it up, the old vehicle. The second part I'm going to do about the light, how to work in all those lights and all the other items that we have over here. And I hope that you like and subscribe to my channel so you can see all the cool projects that I'm going to be doing the next couple weeks. And again, this is the Batmobile project. I'll put those here for now. Okay, the sides look on the bottom, and when you flip it, this is the vehicle. Like, subscribe, and share. Eric, RC Monster Garage. Okay, so I just created those pieces, and those pieces are going to be the light. We're going to 3D print them in red, and those are going to be for the two tail lights for the Batmobile. The customer don't even know about it. I'm just going to do it for him so the car going to look nicer. So I'm going to go print it and show you how it looks. So I'm printing right now, 3D printing the lights, the rear lights for the Batmobile. There's two holes on the back, so this is just gonna make it look a little bit nicer. So I need to still print another set, so I'm gonna have one for the left, one for the right. This will be soon finished. I'll show you the final product when we're going to install it on the vehicle. Pretty cool. Okay, so I finished 3D printing those parts. There's gonna be the tail light that's gonna go right there. I just wanted this to look a little bit nicer on the back since the front is also a little bit damaged. And they will just slide in. I just took it out of my printer, trim it, and this will fit here. And this will fit there. And that's it. They are locked into place. It took about an hour to print each one of those, and now it's look a little bit nicer. It's too bad I could not do the front one. I just don't have the material for it, the yellow material, but in a transparent at the moment. But this thing is done. Let's put it together and go and run it outside. See if it's gonna drive. It's maybe not gonna work. Let me close it out, and we're gonna take it out and see how it's run. See you in a second. Okay, so the battery finished charging and we're ready to go. So before we're gonna go, we have to test everything one more final time. We need to see that everything working and nothing is skipping. We're gonna hook up the battery. Grab the car. Steering working, left and right. And then the wheel turning. Brake and the scissors. Just so you see how it's working. And then you have the Batman logo inside, kind of turning. Very cool. Okay, so this is ready. Let's close it up and take it out for a drive. Now this is not getting closed like a regular RC car. What we're gonna have to do is actually put some screws from the bottom. So you have to flip it in order to close those projects. And then the car just kind of falling in. It's falling in pretty deep. And it's funny because you have to use regular grab screws. I just find a couple screws that might work over there. And you have to open the screw over there in order to kind of release the car. Okay, and the one for the front, those are going to be a little bit problematic because they're going through the bottom bumper over here. see. Yeah, going absolutely nowhere. We're gonna have to figure out a method to close it on this side, but let's try one more thing. There's another hole over here, and this can work too. Yep, this will help to secure the body. Aha! Now our Batmobile is ready for action. Let's look. Let's go see it running. This is just stream drive. Oh, it's pretty fast actually. And I'm not even punching the throttle yet. We're gonna need a little bit higher than this. The camera is way too low for this. Let's reset it up. Now we can see it a little bit better. This car is really cool and it's pretty fast. Consider this is an old toy that just got reworked. Okay, very pretty good. I'm gonna keep the rest for the customer to enjoy. Let's look how it's looking in the sun. And are pretty nice. See you on my next video. Don't forget, like and subscribe.